Hi, Kevin Coop here, and this is FaceTime with the Content Guy. So one of the things we talk a lot about here on Morning Newsbeat is the whole notion of, demographic changes, people moving to the city, young people who are more interested in being in the city than in the suburbs. So one of the things that does is create a lot of pressure on retailers who have traditionally served the suburbs to find ways to serve those cities, to create urban markets that are consistent with their message, consistent with their brand equity, but also kind of reach out in new and different ways. Well, a great example of that is here in Toronto, where, now listen, I'm in a store called Longo's, and they're a terrific chain up in the Toronto area. And this is one of the more traditional stores, right? It's a big store, lots of aisles, lots of checkouts. It's a really, really great store. But listen, if they're going to compete in an urban market, in a very competitive urban marketplace, they've got to find new ways to do that, which is why they have different sized stores. So, for example, that means creating this store. It's in downtown Toronto in Maple Leaf Square. It's about 50,000 square feet. A lot of office buildings around, but there's also a lot of residences going on, a lot of residential towers. It's really growing down here. And that means creating a unique footprint, a lot of food service, a lot of fresh foods, but also a surprising amount of grocery. And it's all highly relevant to the local consumers. Then again, one isn't always lucky enough to have 50,000 square feet for an urban store. So Longo's has done a really exceptional job shrinking that down. I'm in a 12,000 square foot unit right now that Longo's has created, and basically they've captured a lot of the flavor and a lot of the energy of that other store, but they've done it in 12,000 square feet. It's exceptional. They have a really nice selection of produce, and they've also managed to squeeze in a fair amount of grocery. It's really exceptional, but it caters to an urban market. Again, lots of energy, lots of presence. And then there's this store. It looks to be about 5,000 square feet. It's in the lower level of an enormous office building in downtown Toronto. And let me tell you, this store is doing a lot of business, cranking it out at breakfast, cranking it out at lunch, enormously successful from all appearances. And I think it makes the point that, listen, I don't think you have to be shed your skin to be successful in today's market, but I do think it's important to be a little bit of a shapeshifter, to take on different permutations, different configurations in order to be relevant to the customers around you. Listen, you can't just build the store and let the customers come to you. It's important to do different kinds of things. Again, relevance is strength in 2015 and beyond. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this Thursday morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.